Hey Charlie. On which planet can you find sheep?
I don't know.
I'm afraid to say, but it's they go bah. Hmm.
Hello, explorers. I'm Charlie, and welcome to episode 120. And as always, thank you very, very much for joining us. Now, if you like what you hear, please leave us a rating on your podcast provider of choice. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're joining us via YouTube.
Yes, as always, welcome back or welcome along if you're new. What a week I've had, Charlie. I'm going to start with you, though. How's your week been? How's the house move? How you getting on?
Honestly, I'm still drowning in boxes. We've had a couple of ups and downs, but we're getting there bit by bit, slowly, slowly, slowly. I would also like to clarify for our viewers who are watching via YouTube, my hair is wet, not greasy. How are you doing anyway, my dude? I feel like you've had an absolutely crazy week and I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah, no, it's been absolutely mental, but mental in a good way. Today's my daughter's birthday. As you've probably seen, heard, if you're watching YouTube, etc. Jimmy is going to be joining us. He's dropping in shortly. He's just finishing up at school, but I'm off. It's my daughter's birthday. I've been to Vancouver. I've got one heck of a force encounter. The circle is complete. More on that later. It's just been absolute carnage, but good carnage. And this week, the quiz is coming back Thursday night with two brand new contestants. So make sure you tune in on that on Instagram and also YouTube. And yeah, busy. Last week, I asked the listeners what planet was Chancellor Palpatine originally from. It was, of course, Naboo. So keeping with the theme for this week and keeping the questions going, Will Mackenzie is a made-up character for Simon Bird, who's going to be starring in the upcoming Star Wars Starfighter. But what was the series Will Mackenzie is famous for? What was the series that he was famous for? Over to you, Charlie.
So, fun fact this week, thank you to the extended universe for this. If you guys didn't know this, before Darth Bane's famous rule of two was introduced, the Sith had an era where there were exactly 200 Sith Lords at once. The infighting was so bad that they almost wiped themselves out. Always two there are. I cannot wrap my head around two Sith Lords, let alone 200 at any one time. Absolute chaos. Can you even begin to imagine the Jedi Order dealing with that? I definitely can't.
Loads of different Sith with their own ideologies would be amazing, I think. Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic Online, it's exactly that. There's tons of Sith running around, absolute chaos. But yeah, lots and lots of fun. Right, speaking of fun, let's get over to this week's Force Encounters.
For my ally is the Force.
Okay, so this week, like I mentioned, I did go to Vancouver. We went to watch some whales, aka Purgle, in the water, which was again amazing. Whilst I was on there was a guy sitting taking pictures in a Columbus Darth Vader hoodie, which obviously we know was a special edition run last year, I believe it was. So I spent this my time looking at that hoodie, thinking, right, I'm going to go chat to this guy. As I do and promote the podcast, which I did. And then whilst I was down the bottom part of the ship talking to him, I also noticed the guy that was giving us our talk, his name was Sebastian, was drinking out of a Star Wars bottle. So again, being a Star Wars enthusiast I was, walked over, started talking, and lo and behold, we have two new followers following us for our journey Explore the Force. So a big shout out to those guys and thank you for joining. But that is not all of the Force encounter. No, it got better. So Vancouver, the home of the wonderful Commander Taylor, one of the founders of the podcast. I went to Vancouver Zoo and I was greeted by Taylor herself. It was super, super emotional. We had lots of nice comments on the social media. So again, a massive thank you to everybody that's reaching out to us. It's fantastic to see Taylor. Absolute delight. She set us up going around Greater Vancouver Zoo on like this push bike pedalo thing, which absolutely set me up for a disaster. Because do you really think my daughter and wife pedaled? Not as much as they should have, I can tell you. But yeah, and then we went around Greater Vancouver Zoo. Absolutely amazing. The amount of Star Wars references and creatures that she's called, because of Star Wars, is amazing as well. The zoo itself was amazing. Highly recommend to anyone that goes out there. Taylor and her team do a fantastic job. There's talks on it, super clean and tidy. The animals are all well looked after and kept. Their enclosures are huge as well. And even my wife was saying it's one of those zoos where we've come back from and just been like, wow, amazing. And then we were fortunate enough to take her out for a meal as we gave our party goodbyes. But I did leave her with a parting gift as well. And last night she messaged me to say that she'd been given a Darth Vader helmet from Jazzwares. More on that on the social, so keep your eye out. So yeah, quite a lengthy Force encounter for me. But yeah, finally meeting Taylor. The circle's complete. I met Jimmy in Japan, Taylor in Canada. It took me to go all the way across the world, but I finally met them both. So yeah, that's where we're at with my Force encounter. What about yours?
Honestly, it made me genuinely, I was stood in the kitchen having a little cry. If you guys haven't had a chance to go over to our socials and see the pictures of Jack and Taylor like meeting, it's absolutely precious. I definitely know tears were shed, and it wasn't Taylor, it was Jack crying. I know this deep down in my soul. However, my Force encounter was a little bit more wild and untamed this week. So I have a wonderful niece-in-law who we've been able to have over since we've moved, because we've got a garden and a much bigger house, and it's much easier for her to kind of just get on and do. Bless her heart. She's 5, so happens to be the perfect age to teach her what we teach the kids at Sabre Guild. So if people don't know, I've been a member of Sabre Guild for about 6 months now. And I've been learning how to do the kids' classes, and more specifically, learning how to teach the kids' classes by myself. So it was a perfect chance to run the script and teach her how to be a young Jedi.
Nice.
However, I do feel a little bit like Luke with Rey, because she immediately turned to the dark side and ran at me like a child possessed with the spirit of Palpatine. So much for rule number 1: I will never use my lightsaber to hit somebody. She was right in there. There was murder in her heart. It was intense. So we're going to keep trying, and I'll update you all next week. I do believe we've managed to get her one of those like kids lightsabers that are a bit safer rather than my big adult ones. So next time I see her, we'll run through it all again and see where she's at, because
just paddle, wear protection.
She went straight for my head. I had to duck fast.
Young kids are vicious with these lightsabers. This is exactly why the rule of 2 would not work with Sith. The rule of 1 doesn't even work. So imagine a rule of 2. Amazing.
Jack, is Alderaan exploding behind you because you're currently blinded?
Yeah, no, it's the sun coming right the way around. I can't do anything. Keep my hand up there to sort of block it, but yeah, the Alderaan's currently in a couple of pieces. Let me put this Darth Maul up there. How's that? There we go. Now you can see me.
That's better.
Darth Maul from Japan can cover me up. Right, brilliant. Okay, let's head into this week's news.
The people in this crowd will soon be among almost 40,000.
For those who are among the 900 with news media or promotional tickets, this sneak preview probably will be the only chance to see the Empire.
Okay, so a little bit of news coming out. Riz Ahmed, who played the Imperial defector Bodhi, has revealed he was admitted to hospital with severe exhaustion and pain during his time filming Rogue One. The reason I put this in the news again is just obviously showing some of the issues and sort of things that actors and actresses are going through to put Star Wars on the big screen for us or in live action. Obviously, last week we had Katie Sackhoff talking about her loss of confidence. This week, obviously, was talking about exhaustion. Obviously, they both got through it. They both pushed it out, blown it out apart with their roles. But it just shows, this industry is very, very stressful for them. So yeah, I'll put it out there just as a sort of a bit of awareness piece, if you like. We do really appreciate here at Explore the Force everything people are doing to put Star Wars content for us out there. And we do understand how stressful it can be, especially with the fan base that we've got, how needy and wanted some of us can be, picky some of us can be. So yeah, just a bit of an awareness piece more than anything. What other news have we got, Charlie?
Just before I move on, I did want to say I think there's always this expectation from the fandom as a whole, especially Star Wars, that these actors should be able to give us absolute perfection off the bat, and everything they do should be 100% committed to the lore of Star Wars and the importance and the legacy of Star Wars. I think some of the fan base could do with reminding themselves that this is a job. This is extremely hard work. This is taxing and tiring and exhausting. And I think I'm very, very proud of both Katie and Riz Ahmed stepping forward and being like, hey, this was really difficult for me. I worked myself to exhaustion and to sickness, and I put my own health in danger for the sake of this. And it would be nice to just step back and say, like, thank you. We never asked for this. We would never expect this from the people who participate in Star Wars, but I am so unbelievably grateful for the product that we end up with kind of towards the end of it. And that I personally, and I know you and Jimmy, and especially like Mike and Taylor would also agree that none of these actors have to make themselves sick for the purity of Star Wars. Like, rest, look after yourselves. Self-care is important, but know that we're grateful for the end product regardless. So
Galaxy will always be there.
Exactly. Our next piece of news comes from one of my fave people, Mark Newbold, legend, love you. Mark. So for this story, any of our listeners out there who are fans of arcade machines and more specifically pinball machines, Stern, the iconic legendary company, are releasing a brand new pinball machine titled Fall of the Empire. With the Pro Edition selling for $6,999, get those credits out, the Premium for $9,699, and the Limited Edition for a cool $12K. Save up your credits and add one to your home soon. It is such a fresh release and announcement. I can't even show you a preview because there isn't one to show. P.S. I would love a pinball machine one day. Please and thank you. Anybody?
Yes. I've seen this article, and the shop that it was in at the present time I was reading was Costco, and I have a Costco near me.
Go and investigate. Go and investigate for the sake of the podcast, please.
I am. Obviously, it's my daughter's birthday today, so I wonder if she'd like a pinball machine. Who knows? Anyway, D23 is on its way, starting Saturday at 9:15 a.m. Eastern time, 6:15 a.m. Pacific time. Don't ask me about time zones because I already messed up the fantasy draft yesterday, so apologies for that because the time zone thing is so difficult. Just ask me and Charlie and Jimmy about that. Anyway, destination D23's Walt Disney Studios showcase will begin. Approximately 75-minute long panel. It will give fans an exclusive look at the movies fans love and a glimpse into what to look forward to from Disney's film studios. Nothing concrete yet regarding any Star Wars news or updates, but since there's been a big Starfighter announcement, we're all hoping for some news and updates from a galaxy far, far away. Rumours for what we might be getting obviously include more Shadow Lord trailer and possibly a teaser for Mando and Grogu. I've seen a little bit of things floating around the internet with some extra footage from that. Again, I'm not going to spoil it on here, but it's definitely worth watching. I don't think it's anything that people don't already know about anyway. But super, super excited. Is there anything in particular that you're wanting or looking for from that, Charlie?
I think now is the time for Mando and Grogu because obviously we had the Super Bowl and you have all of the big trailers and there was nothing there. We had San Diego Comic-Con and there was nothing about Star Wars from there. And then we've got New York City Comic-Con coming up and I doubt there will be anything Star Wars there either. So it feels like D23 needs to deliver something. Like we wait on tenterhooks for this every year, and it feels like the last couple of D23s have been so dry, and it's been super, super focused on like the new animated films. Like Moana 2 took up like 2 years worth of D23. Give me some Star Wars. Give me some confirmation about the Rey movie. Give me more casting. Give me something to sink my teeth into, because the desert is dry and barren for Star Wars news, guys.
It
I
is.
need it. I need it now.
Yes, and to be honest with you as well, and this might be a personal thing for me, I think the last few D23s have been pretty disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah,
There's nothing really I've gone, oh my God. But,
exactly.
yeah.
So
What have you
our
got?
next bit of news. Please excuse my horrible singing. Jingle bells, Jimmy smells, Star Wars figures are here. That's right, folks. Despite it not even being well, it is September now. Ooh.
It is
Hasbro have announced the first few figures in their holiday lineup. First up, we have a stormtrooper turned reindeer who's got little soft antlers and a little snowman porg on his shoulder. This set also comes with a Force Ghost porg, which makes me a little bit uneasy, if I'm being brutally honest. I don't quite know what the backstory is, but I'm sure there'll be some explanation on the packaging. There is also an R2D2 figure with his very own Santa Claus costume and beard, complete with a little tiny Grogu in Santa robes. So if you're someone that likes collecting the holiday figures, go and get your pre-orders now, because I think this is only just the start of those figures being released.
It's early. It's early to announce and show.
It's very early.
Nothing I'm interested in, if I'm totally honest. The price of
Same.
things, collector's things, it's another topic for another day. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I am very curious how much Grogu has made Lucasfilm, or like merch has sold.
I
So
know.
like things like hotcakes and everything that he's pushing out's got a Grogu on it. Obviously, I know the movie and that's coming up. Makes sense to do it, but pretty big. And the last bit of news, probably the biggest bit of news, apart from obviously the Starfighter announcement, we're going to the main show, is Ivana Sakano, who plays Shin Hati in the Ahsoka show. Oh, what a tongue does it to it every week. Has been given a very exciting update on filming for the second installment. Obviously, we all remember at the end of Ahsoka, Shin Hati was abandoned by a mentor, Bail Skull on Bridia, leaving her stranded and alone. Following the death, rest his soul, of Ray Stevenson, Game of Thrones star Roy McCann stepped up to the plate to play his character, and also confirmed 2025 celebration. She said in her quote, "We're in the middle of filming right now. I'm reporting to you from London, so I get to see Rory nearly daily at the moment, and he has been amazing to work with." Sackler told the direct, "I'll have his work speak for itself, but he's definitely a gift for us to have, and there couldn't have been anyone better to take on this role." And it is a huge role to take up on. Super excited for Rory McCann. Excellent actor. Obviously, most people will know him from The Hound in Game of Thrones. But yeah, exciting times. What's your thoughts?
I think it's obviously, when the casting was announced, it was so nice to see the fandom go, yes, this is a perfect choice, this is a perfect selection, and to hear Ivana being like, this is amazing, I'm having such a wonderful time working with him. I've only got positive feelings about season 2. It's not too long ago that I watched season 1 of Ahsoka again, and I kind of forgot how good it was, especially Shin Hati as a character. And obviously, we
Right.
were all got very attached to Balin and to Shin and to their energy with each other. And I'm really interested to see how this progresses. Obviously, delighted that they're filming at the moment. I'm sure we will get some more crazy behind the scenes photos like we did for season 1, which make me so happy. However, this is the thing. I'm so impatient. I want it now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to have to sit and twiddle my thumbs. I want it now.
Well, it might be time for something exciting to happen soon. So the main show's going to be starting. I'm going to go and celebrate my daughter's birthday before Alderaan blows up, because I think it's impending. So goodbye from me.
Goodbye.
All right, and on to the main show. We're going to be joined by the mailman. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here.
So this week we got some massive news, right? We had some exciting news, confirmation about the upcoming Star Wars Starfighter, which is in production. So we're going to talk about what we know this week.
Woo!
I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't prepped for this. I had no inkling that this was going to be launched, and all of a sudden they post a full-on photo, a logo, and drop an absolute menace of a cast. It's an entirely new story set in a period of time never before explored in Star Wars and will be released theatrically May 28, 2027. You're telling me all this now and I have to wait all of that time? Supposedly, it's set 5 to 6 years after the Rise of Skywalker and has a fairly large cast of renowned and upcoming stars.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the list of people, and some of
Mhm.
them are. I mean, some of them are upcoming. I know some people probably don't know all of them. We're going to go through a bunch of them. I've seen some of the stuff, and we got some action studs. We've got some, I mean, Amy Adams. I mean, come on, like Matt Smith. Like it's just, that's why I asked, and I think in our Discord, I was like, well, how do people feel about this? I guess we can talk about that a little bit once we get through it. We'll kind of talk about that because the question I posed to the Discord was, how do we feel about that? Because usually Star Wars is a place for unknowns. They come in,
Mhm.
and to us, I don't know about you guys, but like, and maybe for the actor's sake, it might be better. But like anyone who was in the original trilogy, they are that person. And then, you know what I mean? Like Harrison Ford is Han Solo, Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker, Carrie Fisher is Princess Leia, and they always have been, and they probably always will be. Does this break that? Like Ryan Gosling is so and so. Other than like I don't know. We'll get to it when we get to it. So just food for thought. Have that churning in your brain, and then we can kind of dive into some stuff.
Cool.
This has to be the first Star Wars project I think I've ever seen with a fully star-studded cast from kind of top to bottom. Like, obviously, you've just said that every Star Wars film we've seen so far is kind of unknowns, people who are at the very beginning of their careers. But there are multiple names on this list who are well-established comedians, well-established in their field, loads of acting credits under their belt, Oscar noms. Like, the list is extensive. So I feel like we need to get into this. Like, I need to sink my teeth into this because what is going on?
All right. Well, let's start with this. All right, here we go. I'm bringing this up. So we got this beautiful photo. First off, how do we feel about this picture of Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray?
That is a cool shot, man. The
I
black and
I love
white.
that they've used yeah, I love that they've used a speeder. It feels kind of gritty and grimy and dirty. It's got that essence of Star Wars that I think is so, so essential. I think it's a really powerful image to kind of use. I, I'm assuming we're getting that same kind of unwilling father figure, rebel child kind of pairing of that kind of energy, but who knows? I feel like I could interpret so much from this single image, and that logo is everything. I love it so much.
Very
Yeah.
different from, and I know
Mm,
it's kind of a rough cut right now because everyone's stealing it from the trailer because we don't really have much. Everyone's taking it from that trailer and screenshot it. I've removed the background, so it's a little bit wonky, but it's very different to me than anything we've seen so far. Like it's clean, it's sharp. I mean, it's the beginning of new Star Wars, maybe.
Yeah, there's certainly elements of the past, but I know what you're saying there, Jimmy. It is certainly different. Again, and am I seeing right? Is Ryan Gosling wearing a cape?
I think he
mhm.
has a jacket slung over his shoulder.
Oh, okay, it's okay. All right. Well,
It's like it looks
I
kind
was
of
just
like a
gonna
Han
say how cool.
Solo-esque kind of
Mm.
jacket, but I mean Ryan Gosling
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
anything
I
with
can
it.
see that now.
Hey, he's Knuff, man. He's Knuff. Maybe you think we'll get a song this season, this movie? Think he'll sing for us? I'm not sure what
Please.
song you sing in the Star Wars universe, but maybe he can sing some Yub Nub or something like that.
I'm solo. I'm riding solo.
I'm riding solo. There you go. All right, so let's get into this. First off, we've got the director and one of the producers, Sean Levy. He is known for, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine, Free Guy, The Adam Project, Arrival, which he was with Amy Adams, and we'll get to that later. But what do we think of? We heard these rumors about Sean Levy, and then of course at Celebration we got it, and he walks out on stage. And I'm like, let's. I mean, first off, he just has this aura about him, like he's a cool dude, like he's just like a
Mhm.
guy you want to hang out with. But how we feel about someone with his because I mean, all these movies, Free Guy, I love. Adam Project's pretty good. Arrival was really great for its time too. how are we feeling? And of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. I think I saw that like 4 times. Just so, how are we feeling about Sean Levy in Star Wars, given his track record?
So
I mean, these.
I
Yeah,
might
go
be
ahead, Charlie.
sorry, Mike. I might
Sorry.
be coming at this with a slightly different set of opinions. I liked Deadpool and Wolverine. I didn't love it. It felt really, really fan servicey to me. It felt like every single second of that film was absolutely packed with it. It felt a
Nostalgia.
bit much for my taste. Yeah, it felt like the nostalgia was kind of being shoved down my throat a bit. And like I'm all for kind of the reminiscing of those eras of what we love, but it was a touch too much for me personally. And Free Guy was it was good, but it didn't blow my mind. But I get the feeling that he's a really big, really colorful, really kind of energetic director, and especially adding producing credits to this as well. I feel like he's gonna take some of that energy that worked so well for Deadpool and Wolverine because it was a moment in culture. It was huge. There are still people that I know who will break out the bye 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 dance at any given chance at a convention, and it's been what, like 2 years since that film came out. It like I think it could work really, really well. I've not seen the Adam Project or the Arrival, so wait, no, Arrival, is that the one with the aliens?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
where she's like
Yeah,
Amy Adams is a scientist. It
right.
has a dark and grittier. It's completely different than these other 3. Like it's like a dark, gritty. It reminds me more of that poster or that photo that we've gotten.
Yeah.
It reminds me more of that than it does of those 3 movies at the top. What about you?
Right, ignore everything I've just said because I love Arrival. I think it's a brilliant film. It's probably one of my favorite alien films. Amazing. Who knows? I feel like this could be a really mixed bag. Mike, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say these are some pretty big movies, and I think a mashup. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be different, but if you just take these works and mash them up, and what's going to come out? If it's something like Starfighter, just imagine the action comedies of Free Guy and Deadpool and Wolverine. Like that's not. I mean, there's some action and comedy in Star Wars, but it's not straight through. And then the science fiction aspects of the Atom Project and Arrival. I mean, it's to me it's a great fit, and it's going to be something slightly different, and seems like it could be a lot
Mm.
of fun.
Do you guys think that Sean, Sean, he's my buddy, me and Sean, Sean Levy is the, I mean, do you think this is a way for, all these movies are super popular. I mean, you say what you want about them. Like the Adam Project on Netflix did pretty well. That's a Star Wars type movie in itself.
Mhm.
Free Guy obviously has a lot of like Marvel and Star Wars elements to it, and Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously. But is Sean Levy's style? Is this like, hey, we're taking Star Wars in a new direction because it needs to go in a new direction to get? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like
Mm.
there's a big gap. We're at Rebel Scum Con. Charlie, you go to a lot of cons as well, and you still see a lot of little kids there, but I would like to see more kids. I want to see more kids dressed up in Star Wars and doing things and going to these things. And maybe he's the guy. Maybe that's why he's the reason that they brought him in. Is he changing? Because he'll start. I mean, I know we get Mando and Grogu, but that's set before the sequel series, right? So that's got an end date to it. Like we know, kind of like Andor, it's going to end somewhere before this happens. Sean's movie, Starfighter, is going to start the new era of Star Wars. I mean, does he think he's the right guy for that? I mean, I kind of feel like he can handle the pressure. He's not gonna J.J. Abrams us with the mystery box, and get 47 things that we need to explain that the movie's over. But do you guys think that he can be the guy to kind of usher in? I know it's the next movie, but I'm saying like after this is the first movie set after the prequel or sequel. Sorry, is he the guy? And is this going to set the tone for Star Wars moving forward?
I think we'll see. I think this is all just a happy accident, really. I don't think it
Wow.
was planned out that this was going to go this
Star
way.
Wars is.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems really interesting. I mean, it really does. Like they obviously wanted to ramp up and hit hard for the 50th anniversary, right? And I
Mm.
don't think the plan was to go with this movie. I think that just the way it has evolved, the nature of what's going on in Hollywood and whatnot, and what's in the zeitgeist, I think this just fit in the best with where they're at. It was the farthest along, and they're obviously we're going to talk about the cast, the cast that they're throwing into this. I mean, I think they're just throwing everything at the wall with this to try to make a blockbuster.
Mm.
And I mean, sometimes when you force things, it's a bad thing. But I'm being optimistic here. I think all that they're putting into this, it's going to turn out really well, and I'm super interested to see. Yeah, it's exciting to see where this is going.
I think I'm one of the I'm one of the first people to have been kind of begging for anything post sequels and not just something that follows on from the sequels with those same characters and those same stories. I think this is going to be the thing that Star Wars fans have been asking for a long time, is something different, something in a different direction, something in a different style. And I think of all of the people to pick, I'm I'm pleased that it's Sean Levy. I also feel like this is going to be a position that he's taken, and we won't see him change. We won't see it shift to another director and then shift to another director, like we've seen with the Ray movie and all of this sort of stuff. I like Mike says, I feel like this has maybe been quite a big push to get to this point, but I'm really, really optimistic to see what comes out the other side of it, and
Yeah.
absolutely willing to go into it kind of open-minded and see where they want to take Star Wars, see where Disney wants to take Star Wars in this kind of brand new era.
Yeah, I'm optimistic, given where they let him take Deadpool and Wolverine. That they're not, maybe they aren't going to baby us into the future. But yeah, so this is pretty exciting. We'll move on into some other stuff. So we've got, oh, my name over here probably helped. Let me see. So next we have Jonathan Tropper. I'm assuming that's how you say. This is going to be the writer. He has, to his credits, he has the TV show Banshee. He wrote the Adam Project, and he also wrote the TV show C, which stars, I think it's an Apple TV show. I think Jason Momoa is in it. Has this concept where nobody can see until, I don't know. It's just like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing. I
Mm,
believe. I know, like, the premise of it is like no one has vision except for like these new kids are born or something. But I mean, it's a kind of was in that whole time like Bird Box and like The Quiet Place,
mhm.
where people's
Mhm.
senses are getting taken away. I've never seen an episode of it. Banshee's pretty long standing. I've quite a few episodes of that when I was looking them up. In the Adam Project, I mean, it was predictable film and it wasn't that hard to figure out what was happening, but it was fine. It was good. I mean, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 for what it was. So what do we think about this
It's
fella?
It's nice to see the connecting links between. So obviously we've got Sean Levy and Amy Adams, and then we've got him directing the Adam Project, and then the writer for the Adam Project being part of this as well. I feel like I really like it when directors kind of they have their team, they have their people that they like to work with, because usually those creative relationships are formed on solid ground and a really kind of reciprocal back and forth of somebody that they really get on with to bounce ideas off of. Again, these are projects that I'm not familiar with, but I don't necessarily doubt Sean's choice for this. I will probably go and watch these just to try and get a bit of an idea. But from what I'm hearing, it feels like we're brushing up against those kind of sci-fi and fantasy concepts which work so well within Star Wars. So I don't really see how this could be a problem particularly. How do you feel, Mike?
I'm about the same. I mean, the only project on here I'm familiar with is the Adam Project. I've seen it, and like Jimmy said, it's a serviceable sci-fi picture. I
Mm,
mean, not bad, not good, not great. It's all right. I've never seen the band, never even heard of Banshee. See, I'm familiar with, seeing the ads and whatnot, but I've never seen it either. But yeah, to your point, every director is going to most likely stick with somebody that they've worked with, and you've got
mm.
this connective tissue through the Adam Project, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with, I guess.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. So, and yeah, I mean, I think I, I hope we don't get canceled for me saying this, but like, you can only do so much
Controversy.
when Ryan Reynolds is in your film. Like,
Yeah, he's
he's
gonna do
gonna be
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds. It doesn't matter if he's Free Guy, doesn't matter if he's the
Yep.
Adam Project, doesn't matter if he's Deadpool. Like, he is literally the same character in everything he
Hmm.
does.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Right.
a lot
And
of
I mean,
range.
I think he's a funny actor. I wouldn't say he's a great actor. He's Ryan Reynolds, and he makes me laugh. Because I was kind of surprised, like, that we weren't getting Ryan Reynolds in Star Wars, to be honest with you, when I heard Sean Levy. But yeah, so we'll see. So maybe that hinders, and he won't have to work around, because Gosling's pretty funny, but he's also like a good action star. He's pretty calm. Like
Mm,
Fall Guy was pretty good.
Hmm.
But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. I wanted to give this guy some credit too. James Klein is going to be the production designer, and when I looked him up, he has been on some epic films. either in the art departments or as production designer. Jurassic, I didn't really care for Jurassic World Rebirth. Like I wasn't like super blown away by it. Like, but the creator I loved, and that was Gareth Edwards, Rogue One director. And then of course he was in the art department, I think, for the first and second Avatar movies. I can't remember. So like he has worked on some epic films. If you haven't seen The Creator, folks, you should check it out. And I guess that means that he's worked with Gareth Edwards on both of those, because Gareth is the one who directed Jurassic World Rebirth too. So what do you guys think about those credits? And then we can start diving into some of the actors.
Well, I'm not a fan of the Jurassic series, any of them. I'm not a big dinosaur guy, but there's no doubt that they are epic. They make tons of money. So, I mean, having a connection with a blockbuster like that, great. I haven't seen The Creator. I know I should.
Yeah,
Jimmy, you
really
told me
good.
about this before. I need to look that up. But Avatar, being part of the art department there, that movie changed a lot. Like a whole new way of filming, a brand new technology and whatnot brought into the filming industry and whatnot. So, I mean, that's a huge credit there.
So something that's super, super important to me in films, and something that Star Wars admittedly has faltered on in the past, is consistent aesthetic. Whether the story changes, whether the location changes, Avatar's a really, really great example of this. Breathtaking first film, absolutely beautiful. The second film comes along and it feels completely harmonious. And I'm guessing Mr. Klein is partly responsible for this. So thank you very much. I think it will be really interesting to see him bring some of that consistency to Starfighter, to be able to lift it, change it, make it different, but also keep that thread of familiarity that is so, so essential to long form storytelling, especially over film franchises like Star Wars. Like, it's film franchises like Star Wars. I think that's so, so essential. I love the Jurassic World films. I think they're silly and goofy and big and ridiculous, and I love dinosaurs. I'm a big dinosaur fan, Mike. I'm so sorry. But yeah, give me that blockbuster energy. I feel like that's where they're going for this. They're going to try and make this like the big summer blockbuster, like we had Barbie and Oppenheimer, and we'll have like Spider-Man, and it's that energy. And I think Star Wars needs that. I think we've not had that since The Force Awakens, and that's not even a summer release. That was like a Christmas release.
Yeah.
So bring back the Star Wars summer. I'm all for it. I think this could be really, really interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, I didn't care for Jurassic World Rebirth. I mean, it almost left the theater during it, but I thought it looked pretty. I thought it was beautiful. Like it looked like they were on the island, and then the creator is just, for the amount of money they made that with, it looks absolutely stunning.
Not
So
one I've seen. I'm
yeah,
guessing it's worth a watch from what
yeah,
you
it's
were
definitely a
saying, Jimmy.
sci-fi. There's a lot of AI stuff in it. Definitely worth a watch if you have an afternoon off. Check it
Okay.
out. And of course, then we got Knuff himself. Ryan Gosling will be the star. I mean, he walked out on stage, and I was like, "What the heck?" Like, Ryan Gosling's in Star Wars. It's official, And it's funny because we've seen, we've seen this happen at other Star Wars celebrations, and we're still waiting on scripts for some of those. And so it did my heart joy, which it much needed over these last couple weeks, that we got all this information Thursday of last week. Like, oh, they're actually doing it. It's like, this is really going to happen. Like, we're not just blowing smoke up all the Star Wars fans' backsides. Like, this is actually happening. So I don't know if I need really known for, but we got Barbie, The Fall Guy, La La Land, The Notebook, blah, and then Blade Runner 2049.
I quit.
Oh.
What do you mean I'm a bird, you're a bird? What do you mean you don't like The Notebook?
I I don't, maybe just not in the time of my life when it came out or something, but I'm good.
I've not seen it.
Don't bother, Mike.
Just say you hate love, Jimmy. Just say you hate love.
I love love. It's just, I didn't like this movie. I thought it was fine. But yeah, these other ones, Barbie, obviously he's amazing as Ken. The Fall Guy I thought was really good. People give him a hard time for it, but he was funny in it, and it wasn't like this over the top comedy. It was real, like, just kind of like it just kind of, I felt like it fit into the movie, and it never felt forced. And he's really good in the action sequences. La La Land was pretty incredible with him and Emma Stone, with the the
Mhm.
singing and the dancing. That's kind of his forte. And then Blade Runner 2049. Those movies confuse me. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't feel like I still don't know what's happening in either Blade Runner movie. Like, who's doing what, So, but yeah, for me, I was like, it was a little weird because we talked about that, new actors versus I mean, Ryan Gosling is about as big as it gets these days. But I'm pretty excited for this. Like, I really like him. He seems like someone who's going to take it seriously and really. I mean, look at his hat. Never tell me the odds. He's got it figured out. So, how are you guys feeling about Ryan Gosling being our hero?
I don't know how you can go wrong. This is like Jude Law in.
Ooh, there you go.
You know what I mean? Why can't I think of the name of the? Help me.
The Crew.
Skeleton Crew. Jeez, I'm getting old. But yeah, that was I think we were all surprised by that, and that worked out really well. And we're all surprised by this, and I expect it's going to work out well. I mean, how can it not? It's Ryan Gosling. Jeez.
Yeah.
I
Agreed.
mean, this is a man who's like well established, long established, a heartthrob for those who think he's a heartthrob, a brilliant like singer and dancer. Like La La Land isn't my favorite, and I'm a huge musical fan, but I have to commend his performance in it. He did an absolutely fantastic job, and he was brilliant in Barbie. He embodied the energy of Ken so well. It was almost scary at points. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a brilliant actor, and I think he's going to do wonders for this film and wonders for Star Wars. And obviously, like seeing him turn up on stage with the "Never Tell Me the Odds" hat was just the cherry on top of the cake. Really, like show us that you care about the franchise that you've been invited into. Like show us that you understand and you get it. That is so important to me. I feel like there've been, especially when you're bringing in well-known and well-credited actors like this, I need to know that they love what they're doing.
Yeah.
Good
I mean,
point.
no problems with it. Mike, what you gonna say?
I just said good point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how hard pressed you would be to go against Ryan Gosling unless you just, have a beef.
No.
So now we got the co-star. I'm assuming Flynn Gray. He does not have much. I mean, the kid's like 10 years old. I couldn't actually find a date on IMDb of how old he is. I know they're probably trying to protect him because he's younger. But he's in the new Wednesday, and I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen the new season yet, which, I mean, I love the first season. Borderline, Rose's War. I haven't seen this, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna say cool because I don't know, and give this kid a chance and see what happens. He looks intense, and if we've learned anything from interviewing, like the kids from Skeleton Crew, like these young people are pretty impressive.
Mhm.
And so I'm sure he was selected for a reason.
Again, like you said, especially when it comes to bringing in kind of kid actors in Star Wars, they seem to have a real knack for picking like kids with a real kind of spark and a real sort of specialness about them. And like I've not watched much of Wednesday, but I know that it was massively well received. And it says here in our notes that he's cast as Gosling's nephew in Starfighter.
Yeah. So they released that information. I didn't mean to cut you off, but they released that information
No?
and then they retracted it
Ah.
almost within the hour or 2 hours after it was released. And this was probably a month or so ago they did this.
Mm.
Oh, no, he's protecting his nephew, and then they retracted it and they said it's like his ward or his like he was like there was no relationship there. So I think they screwed up, but I'm assuming the first one was probably correct. Like, I don't know why that's such a big deal, unless some kind of like forced thing or something. I don't want like family relations or whatever. Well, Mike, what do you think? I know there's not a whole lot to say about this kid. I mean,
Yeah, not a whole lot to say. I mean, I'm happy that they didn't go with an established child actor. Like having
Yes.
an established actor is not a problem. Like Ryan Gosling's obviously well established, no problem there. But I think, especially forcing like a child actor that's well established, it's hard to divorce them from their character. I think because like they're brand new. It's all they're known for is that
Yeah.
one thing. Like Ryan Gosling's done plenty. Like, I mean, maybe there are people that are familiar with this kid's work, and but I have never heard of him. So, and like you said, they with Skeleton Crew especially, they knocked it out the park with hiring young actors. I mean, it didn't go wrong on a single one of those four. So
Those
I'm
kids are
hoping,
incredible.
hoping the streak continues.
Absolutely. All right. Now we've got this guy. This one, I'm ecstatic. Like, I'm not a big Doctor Who. I've not really watched Doctor Who since like back with like the 70s, Mike, when we used to watch like the PBS stuff with Tom
That's all
Baker.
you had.
That's all we had. But I mean, this guy, House of Dragons, Doctor Who, supposedly young Emperor Palpatine. There was a clip on Happy Sad Confused podcast where he wouldn't come right out and say it, but he said it was it was going to be pretty awesome. So now we still got him back in Star Wars. He's amazing in House of Dragons. I think is kind of a bad guy, but kind of a good guy at the same time. Like, he's very confusing. How are you guys feeling about Matt Smith entering Star Wars? I mean, I'm super ecstatic. Like, him versus Ryan Gosling, I just think I'm like, yes, please. If we're assuming he's the bad guy, which I'm assuming he is. So what do you guys think?
Just his look. I mean, he's got to be the bad guy, right? And I did not like House of Dragons. I watched, I don't know, the first 5 episodes or something like that, and I can't fault anything that Matt Smith did. Like, his acting, his portrayal of that character is amazing. I just didn't like the show. Like, everybody was just despicable and awful. There's nobody you could get behind. I didn't like anybody. But I mean, you can't you can't take anything away from his portrayal and his acting. He's fantastic. And yeah, I think it's a great hire. I'm really excited to see his character. Charlie?
So, as the resident Brit, and a long time watcher and fan of Doctor Who, all the way from the original ones, all the way up to the current ones, controversially, he's not my favorite Doctor by any stretch. I think I stopped watching about halfway through his run as the Doctor because I wasn't getting it. But that was more of my issue with the companion than it was with Matt Smith himself. I think he's a fantastic actor. Of course, he's going to be the bad guy because Star Wars cannot remove itself from the trope of casting Brits as the bad guys.
Hey, if it works.
One day, one day we'll stop making the Empire British. One day. I do specifically remember he's been fan cast as young Emperor Palpatine for as long as I've been a Star Wars fan online. That has just been a constant, especially when Doctor Who first came out, his series. He's brilliant in House of the Dragon. I feel like he's going to bring... it's reminding me of Paul Bettany in Solo, that kind of like conniving, malicious, ridiculous, kind of almost leaning towards like camp. Almost, I want to see like that big, bosh, like dramatic ridiculousness that you can only really get from like British actors. So yeah, I'm 100% here for it. Yes, 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 and more yes.
We need to do a prediction show because the thought just popped into my head. Is he a clone of Emperor Palpatine?
Stop it.
You know what I mean? Because we got Dathan. He could be, I'm sure leading up to things, we will get there and we'll have our big predictions and stuff like that in 2 years or so. But I mean, that's the first thing I think of. I just think that's because it's in my mind that, he was young Emperor Palpatine. Is he a clone? And they're going to continue that through line. I kind of want that to go to bed. I kind of want to be done with it, but I wouldn't be stunned if, they decided to like, we can't get rid of Palpatine. But so, yeah, anyways, moving on. Who do I bring? Oh yeah, here we go. Amy Adams. So Arrival, which she was in, Sean Levy directed, I believe. Enchanted, The Fighter, obviously a big part of the DCEU. I liked her Lois Lane. I know it wasn't like traditional, but I liked it. I thought she was good in it. I think I've never seen a thing with Amy Adams in it that I wasn't like, oh, she's a great actress or actor. I'm still having a hard time not calling female actors actresses. I get it. She's a really good female actor or actor. But I mean, supposedly people think she's the mom of
Yeah.
Flynn Gray. So is this a big role? Is she dead? Is she captured? Why is the kid with Ryan Gosling and not her? Are they all together?
Mm.
Like, I mean, so how much Amy Adams are we getting, and how do you feel about Amy Adams's background?
That is a princess. She is a princess. I love Enchanted. It's one of my favorite princess movies. I think she's absolutely magical and fantastic in it. Also, I'm getting a theme with this casting. So obviously we'll get down to it. We've got Jamal Westman who was in Hamilton. We've got Ryan Gosling who did all of that singing in
It's gonna be a
Barbie and in Free
musical.
Guy. We've got Amy Adams. Are we going to get a musical number? Are we finally going to get a musical number in Star Wars?
Star Wars, the
I
musical.
fear. Da, da. I, I love her. I think she's wonderful. I think, yes, 100% yes. She's also extremely funny, which I love and makes me very. And she was brilliant in Arrival. She was
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, that was like her first big breakout thing, I believe. Like kind of where she kind of took over being Amy Adams, if I'm not mistaken.
Just, I can't get my head around. These are three like blockbuster, hard-hitting Hollywood actors. Like this is amazing to me. I feel like this is so unique and so different for Star Wars. But heck yeah, give me every second of it. How do you feel, Mike? Are you a princess fan? You better be.
Um,
Mike,
no,
Enchanted your favorite film. To go ahead and tell everybody.
never seen it, but
What? Oh, it's so fun.
I'll just to echo Charlie's point. Whether you know cinema or not, whether you follow actors or pay attention to what you're watching, like these first three people, 90% of the people out there know these people. It's
Mhm.
crazy that this cast, these hirings, it's just so huge, and I'm in for it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So pretty excited for her. I hope she's a big part of it. I know rumors
Yeah.
and rumors will be rumors for the next 2 years, but well, less than 2 years really. But right, yeah, that she's not going to be in it a ton or something like that for whatever reason. That's what people are speculating, but let's hope that they're wrong. Then we got Mia Goth. I watched a little clip of her and all the stuff she's in. She is pretty outstanding. She has some range on her because I mean, at one point she's in like one of the Sense and Sensibilities or whatever, or
Mm.
and then next thing she's playing a porn star from like somewhere down south. She's got some range on her. So that's that X and Pearl. I think that's where she's got.
Mhm.
I've never seen any of those. Infinity Pool. I was watched a clip of like her moments in movies with her, and she is all over the map of characters she's portraying. So, and I will be honest, she kind of looks like she could be a pretty good bad guy, right? I mean, she kind of has that I mean, I don't know, what I'm talking about. Like they just have that look.
Yeah.
Like Matt Smith has
Mhm.
that look.
Mhm.
She has like I would be afraid if she was chasing me.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
So
Yeah, I was gonna say the same
And
thing. Like Matt Smith, she has that look. I mean, not like they're twins or anything like that, but there's just something about both of them, their facial structure, whatever their look, they exude something.
Mike, now you've said that, I do wonder if they maybe cast as like a brother and sister duo. I
You
could
could certainly
possibly
see
see
it.
that kind of visually.
Mhm.
If you guys haven't watched Pearl, you should. She portrays female rage in a way that I have never seen more authentically portrayed on screen. She has rage, she has passion, she has got something deep inside her that needs to be out. Um, a massive shout out to A24 for lifting her up to this level and giving her the space to basically have an entire film to just go absolutely ham. I 100% think she's going to be a bad guy, and I think this is a really interesting role for her to step into, especially if it ends up being alongside Matt Smith. 10 out of 10 casting. She's an icon, and she's going to be. If I don't know if she's been nommed for an Oscar yet, but she deserves to be, and I sincerely hope that she wins one at some point in her life because she 100% deserves it. Incredible actor.
nice. I like that passion, Charlie.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, where are we at here? And then Aaron Pierre, and I didn't realize he's the guy in Rebel Ridge. He's in the Underground Railroad, Brother, Rebel Ridge, Genius. Now, I've seen clips of Rebel Ridge. That's the only thing I've seen that he's been in. He is like action stud. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think Michael B. Jordan think any action hero. I mean, the guy's jacked. I mean, he looks. I mean, physically, he's just. I mean, specimen. He's got good acting chops. I mean, the things I've seen, like I said, the clips that I've seen from that trailer, and that's been on my list to watch. So, I wonder. And he has like this look to him, and I'm like, man, like this guy could be like, he could be anything. He could be a good guy, a bad guy, someone who flip flops. I just think he's got a good look and good action. So I'm wondering what he's going to bring to this role. You know what I mean? Like who's he's going to be. I'll be excited to find out when we start getting closer as to like what he's going to be. If he's going to be some kind of like commando or former trooper or something like that, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He voiced Mufasa in the live action Lion King, didn't he? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this is a hard one to put into a box. Like you don't know what he could be, but those eyes, man.
Yes, that's what I was
piercing.
thinking. Like,
yeah,
I hope they're not covered up in like like a cool helmet or what I mean. Like this guy needs to have like his face. Like I want to see his face on screen because I mean he just got that look. I mean it's kind of like me and Matt. Like he just has that presence. Like you can just kind of like.
Those are 3 actors with just like distinctive features that really great picks.
All right. So, and then of course we got, where's there he is.
There he is.
We got Simon Bird, who Charlie, we're going to have to lean on you a little bit more for Simon Bird because The In-Betweeners is a British comedy, I believe, right? So, Charlie's
I'm sorry.
Just having a little trouble.
None of you as Americans understand how funny this is to me. So this man is like arguably one of the most well-known comedy actors in the UK. The In-Betweeners was like a cultural movement. There are gags in The In-Betweeners that are still said today and are part of like common British slang and parlance. He's also one of the stars of the show Friday Night Dinner, which is also like another British kind of sitcom comedy that's really, really popular. Phrases in that have changed like the zeitgeist of the UK and how we speak as Brits and the way we converse with one another. He is absolutely hilarious, and I am 100% convinced that the only role he will be playing is a droid. He has the voice for it. If you've not seen clips of him or heard him speak, it's like this kind of nasally, kind of middle class British sounding voice that's so him and can only be used for some kind of droid. This was announced, and I was seeing myself on the floor laughing for a good 10 minutes. This is so funny to me. Nobody understands how funny this is.
I will take your word for it, Charlie.
I couldn't even explain to you. The In-Betweeners is about 4 lads who go to secondary school, like sixth form, like before university. That's it. That's the entire premise of the show. But if US people listening to this have not seen Friday Night Dinner or The In-Betweeners, try and like source it and watch it. And even if you don't understand it, I need you to see how funny Simon Bird is as an actor. This is brilliant. It's my favorite casting announcement of the whole thing. I couldn't have expected it or predicted it, but good gracious, am I excited.
So we're gonna get a snarky droid. I'm always down for that.
Awesome.
Mike, any thoughts? I mean, you're probably
I think Charlie said it all. Yeah, Charlie said it all. I'm glad. I'm excited for this now.
Yeah.
It's Simon Bird. Okay, whatever. But now it's Simon Bird.
Yeah, I know. I'm fired up now. I was like, these 3. I'm like, okay, and now I'm like, wow, Simon Bird. Maybe he's the next droid we fall in love with. I'm excited for it. Jamal Westman from Hamilton. That's crazy. That's odds, like you said, another singer, another stage performer, lots of presence. I mean, they're going to get the job delivered. So I wonder, this is a lot of people, like a lot of big actors and stuff. I'm surprised by, and then Daniel Ings from The Gentleman, Lovesick and The Crown. So he has some serious like Netflix. It's kind of funny because you had this Netflix combo with the Adam Project and Sean, and then the writer, and then all these people are kind of tied together in this. I feel like this crew, this cast is going to get along beautifully. They're going to be able to have good conversations because they've all been around each other, it seems like, or they have these connections of like, oh, I was in this and this and this, and this person was here. And I think that from everything we've heard about Hollywood, like when they get along and they feel like they can talk about things, they don't have like an overbearing like producer, director. that the movie always benefits from that camaraderie
Mm.
and from that talent. So, how do you guys feel about these last two? I mean, I've seen pieces of The Crown and The Gentleman. I've not seen Lovesick, and I've seen Hamilton, but I don't know if I've seen Jamal in it.
I love The Crown. I would also like to point out he's worked alongside Matt Smith, who's also in The Crown. He plays the young Prince Philip. Mm. So those two like know each other. I feel like there's all of these connections together with all of these cast members, and that makes me so, so happy. It's nice to see quite a long list of Brits as well. I'm always happy for that. Hamilton's not my fave musical, but I fully respect
Why,
the insane
Charlie?
amount of
Why isn't it
talent.
your favorite? Huh? You still holding a grudge?
Maybe.
Although I will say King George is probably the funniest part of that whole thing every time he comes out and sings. Oh, it makes me laugh so much.
But yeah, the more the merrier. I'm still 100% Team Simon Bird though. Like I cannot express how hilarious that is to me.
Mike, any thoughts on these last three?
Yeah, really not familiar with them, but like you said, Simon Bird, since Charlie's given him her full approval, I'm interested to see where that goes. But I just wanted to remark too, we're talking about 9 different actors that have been announced for this thing.
Hmm.
How many shows parade out 9 different actors to promote the movie, their series, or anything like that? You know what I mean? It's usually like we've got this star, or we have these 2 stars coming together. At the most, it's like 3 or 4 people that that they get behind. There's 9 people on this list.
Good
It's
point.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting, very very interesting.
It's
All right.
a lot to drop in one go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm also not mad at it. I feel like they would rather give us this than give us teaser trailers or give us kind of I don't know. It
Yeah,
feels like this is what us as kind of fans and journalists and broadcasters are going to be chewing over for a while longer, and it keeps the wolves happy, stops us being too
yeah.
hungry, you know?
And I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's significant too. Like it's not just bit players or bit parts or whatever. Like these 9 people must
Hmm.
have a significant role in this movie, and
Yeah.
it's great.
Well, I've got some questions. I know we're running kind of long, but I'll just ask these, and you guys can give some short ones. So, first off, Mike, bringing up the fact that you said like we talked about 9 actors, like this feels like a Marvel cast to me.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
in for like our first big, really epic, like Marvel cinema story where we're getting 2.5 to 3 hour film where it's just like it develops, it hits, you don't even realize it's been 3 hours. I mean, you have this many people, they need to have the parts to play, right? I mean, you don't bring
Yeah.
people with this talent in for, a 5 second, oh, I'm an X-Wing pilot, meh, and that's all they get.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
I'm
No, I'm so down for it. And like we said earlier, they obviously they've really wanted to push the 50th anniversary, and I think they're pulling out all the
Hmm.
stops and they're throwing everything they can at this.
I mean, this
And to your point, if this is touching on 3 hours, just epic. I'm so excited for that. I'm so down.
nice. Charlie.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, give me a 3.5 hour like the Star Wars epic. Give me that Marvel Cinematic Universe, like Act One, Act Two, Act Three, kind of absolute banger of a piece of absolute cinema. That's what I want.
Yeah, I
And I
mean,
feel like with such a star-studded cast, they can only go that way. They can only give these actors the space to kind of chew the scenery, have the floor, enjoy the franchise, indulge in it, like
yes,
100%.
they've got to build. I mean, this is going to be the first
Hmm.
post sequel film. Like they've got to build the
Mhm.
new universe. And if these are people or politicians or they're, the new bad, but what if Matt Smith and Mia Goth are now the bad guys moving
Mhm.
forward? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a
Mhm.
lot riding on this. And that kind of brings me to my next one. I'm definitely down for, a big epic, like long Star Wars movie where it's not all action. We got some character building and things like that. And people who don't like that can just stay
Mm.
at home. But how much pressure is on this film? Because Mike, you've brought up multiple times 50th anniversary, 50th anniversary, and this is the movie that they've decided is coming out in 2027, the 50th year of
Mhm.
Star Wars. Like, I know there's pressure in Mando and Grogu. Like, I think that movie has a different kind of pressure. I mean, I feel if that doesn't go well, we're going to be in a world of hurt. But how much pressure is it to drop this film and you're back to the summer release, back to
Mhm.
when Star Wars was released in 1977,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
50 years later, you're dropping this. I mean, well, how do you guys think about the pressure that this film is under? Right off the bat. I mean,
It, it's massive, right? Like, first off, Star Wars fans will tell you that they want something new, but
they
they
don't.
throw a fit when they get something new.
do.
Star Wars fans are used to a trilogy. This isn't a trilogy. It's a standalone. And while we've had a few good standalones, this is just a standalone. It's different. Star Wars fans don't like different. As much as they say they want different, they don't usually like different. So the pressure is immense. Like, I think they're up for it. I think they've selected the right people to shepherd this ahead. But yeah, it could go horribly wrong. I don't expect that it will, but yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Nice.
Uh, the pressure is immense because I'm putting the pressure on. I'm sorry, for
Uh-oh.
the first time
Ooh.
in a long time, I have high expectations for this. You cannot drop a cast that star-studded and that extensively, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Talented and experienced,
Mm.
and it not be good at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Charlie. Like, pressure for the 50th, like Mike said, and you got this cast.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
you don't bring these amount of people. You don't bring this big of a crew. You don't
No.
announce these people if they're not going to be important pieces to it. I think so. I'm pretty excited for it. And I'm excited for us as content creators because now we've got, you know, the people are. I know we didn't. I haven't seen the news, but I don't think anything Mando and Grogu related was dropped at D23 this weekend. But you know, we're going to have a steady stream of. We're getting shows in September. We're getting Vision season 3. We're getting the Lego stuff. We'll get Ahsoka. We're gonna get Mando and Grogu. I mean, Mando and Grogu. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna be a plethora of things for us to talk about over the next 2 years. Like, just leading up, just given the fact that
Mm,
we have that, and for the first time as a Star Wars fan, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but like, we have been kind of messed around and like had just had the rug pulled out from under us so many times with films and announcements that over the next 2 years, we're getting 2 movies, regardless of what happens behind the scenes. Like, unless
Yep.
something terrible happens, like we've got a movie over in what 6 or 7 months, we got a movie, and then a year after that, we're getting another one. So I'm
Hmm.
pretty pumped as a Star Wars fan to be going back to the cinema. You know, it's where it belongs in my
Yeah.
mind. So take my money, please.
yeah, take my money. Here is my bank card.
Any final thoughts?
um,
Bring it on.
yeah. Just real quick, I know like anything we come up with now would be speculation, but do you guys think, first off, will this movie be a bridge? Will it connect with the coming trilogy? Or do you want it to? Do you want it to connect, or do you want it to be a standalone? Do you think it will, and do you want it to?
I would like it to be standalone until the end. And then I want
Yeah.
Ray or somebody or Poe Dameron or Finn or somebody that comes out of the woodwork, like out of nowhere, and just, all is lost. How is Ryan and Gray going to get, or Flynn going to get out of this situation? Matt and me have got them cornered. And
Mhm.
then in swoops whoever. And with the help,
Mhm.
I want Ryan to be able to stand on his own 2 feet. And I think he can as an actor, and obviously as an action star and character and everything like that. But maybe get a hand from just a little things to tie it together. They've been doing a really good job with like the High Republic and piecing things in from the commando, like Dank Farrick and I Have Spoken and these other
Mhm.
things. Like they've just kind of slowly put it out there, and they've become to the point now where it's like, oh, this has always been here. And no, it hasn't. It's been introduced the last 5 years. So
Yeah.
I kind of want, like, I would like to see a little bit of sequel stuff, sequel character, and even if it's somebody that's like whatever, what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be Ray, or it doesn't have to be the big three from those films. It could be Chewie off on his own, which he better still be with Ray. But I would definitely be down for a little bit of a
Mm.
little bit of a connector, but its own story away from the stuff we've seen so far. They
Yeah.
have to, right? I mean, they have to.
Yeah. All right. Charlie?
Jimmy said it all, to be honest. 100%. I would love to see it as a standalone, stand by itself, exist in its own little pocket, the way kind of Skeleton Crew did. It existed in
Yeah.
its own little bubble of Star Wars, but was still
Mhm.
really authentically Star Wars and felt really genuine. And maybe it would be nice to see like a familiar character, like a familiar trilogy character kind of pop up at the end, but I kind of almost wonder if that would make people like upset, if that would make the fan base angry, if it would just be like, oh, we've done all of this building for this huge epic story and the day was saved by Rey. I feel
Yeah.
like that would just
That's
Yeah.
tank.
very valid point, Charlie. I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that. I forgot about the fan base being rabid maniacs sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair
Yeah.
too. Though, when I said it, I was kind of like, oh, well, maybe because does that undermine Gosling and
Yeah, I worry that
Yeah.
it would undermine kind of this
help them
insanely
along the way
star-studded
somewhere?
cast.
Beginning of Act 3, they help them out a little bit,
Yeah,
get them off on their own.
yeah.
I don't know, something.
Yeah.
I would take like a hollow message from Rey or like a transmission from like Finn or Poe,
Mhm.
who's like leading the Rebel Alliance now and that kind of thing. I'd stick with that. I wouldn't necessarily have like a full introduction of one of those kind of, I guess, quote unquote legacy characters now.
Yeah, because you could kind of see that if Gosling's character was an X-wing pilot or something, he would have these connections.
Mm-hmm.
So he could call in a favor, and I don't know. Yeah, I think it'd be
Yeah.
either way. I'm pumped.
Yep, for sure.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's the overarching energy for today. We're all
Yeah.
just really excited.
Pumped.
Yeah, and I needed this discussion, to be honest with you. Like, I'm pretty fired up. Like, I was fired up when I finally got to see it, the information, and then getting to talk about it. It's been pretty awesome with you guys as well. So, but other than that, folks, let us know in the comments, email us, add us, whatever. Let us know what your
Mhm.
thoughts are on Starfighter with the big cast. Is it going to be a big 3-hour epic? Is it going to be, whatever we'll do? I'm sure much later we'll start doing. Is there going to be lightsabers? There's going to be the Force and all these different things
Mhm.
we'll do.
Mhm.
Who's going to connect it? But let us know your thoughts and what your excitement level is. Are you just you've been burned too much by Disney and you're just going to hesitantly wait till it comes out, or are you ready like Charlie for them just to take your money and see Simon Bird as the next lovable, sarcastic droid? So, but anyways, if you have any questions or just want your video or voice heard, then DM us on our socials, send us an email or voice note at exploretheforce@gmail.com. And remember to like this episode, share it with your Star Wars friends and family, to follow us on all of our social media platforms. All you have to do is search Explore the Force, all one word. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Also, if you want to show your support and spread the word around by image as well as voice, then head over to our Redbubble and search Explore the Force, where you can purchase unique merchandise. And a massive thank you to everyone interacting with us via our social media. You keep this podcast amazing.
Yes, and finally, you have been listening or watching Explore the Force. We have spoken. See you guys next week.
See ya.